UFC Fight Night. Rafael Fiziev versus Torres goes down this Saturday night in Baku, Azerbaijan. The UFC are going back to Baku. Not really deserved, as there's not many great Azerbaijani fighters on the roster. However, it seems to be a thing they're going to be doing now. This card's okay. Apparently, they're keeping the rankings with Torres and Fiziev. The rest of the card's okay. A lot of, Amabayev, Johnson, good ranked fight. A lot of mid fighters on the card that aren't great, but they're not cans like Magomedov, Alexeychuk, Alaskarov, Fahea, Ruzaboyev, Yakayev. Anyway, in this video, I'm going to go through every fight on the card, give my predictions, and break down every single fight. First fight of the night is Tahir Abdullayev versus Jefferson Nascimento. He wouldn't be in the UFC if he wasn't from Azerbaijan, let's just say that. Tahir Abdullayev is okay, he's a striker, wants to keep it on the feet, pressure you up against the cage, and knock you out. He is 21-3. He's not 0-0, none of that. I love how this $7 billion company can't update their website. Anyway, he's 29, 5'8", pretty active in 2025, August, September, October. Not fought this year. However, he is a good striker. Jefferson Nascimento, he's undefeated, 13-0. However, he's moving up a weight class. He fights at 155. He is the same height, and Abdullayev is pretty small for the welterweight division. However, Jefferson Nascimento is the same height. He's coming off of a fight, literally, about 3 weeks ago, where he was losing 3 rounds, got a fluke body kick KO, where kind of like Moreno versus Kai Kara France, where the guy just kind of quit. Not good on the regional scene. Fought decent comp, to be fair. That guy was 9-1, 7-1, 8-0, 12-3, whereas Abdullayev doesn't fight the best comp. 3-1, 7-9, 2-0. But Abdullayev's getting finishes, looking good in all of his fights. I'm going to pick him to win by decision in his hometown. Nascimento took a lot of damage in his last fight. He's got a bit of a cut, bruising still on his face. I think Abdullayev's going to walk him down, dictate the pace of the fight, and win a decision. I mean, if you're getting outpieced on the regional scene 3 straight rounds, before that, losing decisions to guys in the regional... No, he didn't lose decisions. He's undefeated. But he's not fighting good comp. I think Abdullayev in the home crowd, extra, more incentive for him to win. He's going to back Nascimento up and win a decision. Not great. I don't know an awful lot about these guys, and neither do you probably. I had to do a bit of research. But I think Abdullayev is a better striker, higher output, the bigger guy, and I think he will win a decision here. Next fight is Beksa Almacan versus G Matsumoto, an absolute banger. Why the fuck is this the second fight on the card? I live in England, so I won't be able to watch it. They don't let us watch the early prelims. They just still make us pay £30 a month for TNT. Then they make you pay for two cards a year, but you don't get to watch the whole card. It's really great. Americans have it so much better with Paramount Plus. Anyway, this fight is an absolute banger. 2 great bantamweights, very good fighters, very durable, like to press forward, engage in the pocket. However, I'm going to go with Beksa Almacan. He's got better, he's more powerful. Jim Matsumoto, he's kind of like Diego Lopez. If Diego Lopez didn't have the power, he's got a good chin, very durable, but he doesn't have the output to put guys out. Razor close fights with Brad Katona, Miles Johns, Bashrat last time out, Rob Font, where I did think he actually, he could have got the nod and we could be seeing he's still 17 and 19-0, undefeated, a proper prospect. But he makes it far too close every fight, and I think Beksa Almacan is a better striker. More calmer on the back foot. Took a round off of Alexandre Topuria. Rocked Umar and Magomedov badly. I think he's going to rock Massamuto on the feet, but Massamuto is too durable. He'll survive. Almacan's got 3 fights in the UFC. Got smudged by Umar. Rocked him. Knocked out Brad Katona with ease in the first round. Massamuto, well, I know MMA math doesn't work, but went to a split decision with him. And had a good first round against Alexandre Topuria, but then Topuria took over, and Topuria would probably beat up Massamuto as well. I don't think he's got good enough grappling to take Almacan down, vice versa. A lot of scrambling, be a very gritty decision. I think he's going to go 29-28 to Beksa Almacan. He's the cleaner striker, more powerful, mixes up the shots. Whereas Massamuto kind of just crashes in, looking for the hooks, the low kicks. Not much offense that's going to... he's not very powerful, let's just say that. And I think Almacan will eat his shots. Survived against Alexandre Topuria. He didn't get submitted by Umar. If Massamuto tries to take him down, he will survive. And I think Massamuto will have a good last round where Almacan outpieces him, out-volumes him for the first 2 rounds. Massamuto has a late, good 3rd round, nearly KOs Almacan, but it's not going to be enough, as usual with Massamuto. Razor close with Bashrat, razor close with all these guys he fights. Almacan will win a decision here. Sadly, I like Gene Massamuto, but I just don't think he's got enough offense, powerful enough. He's got the heart, he's got the chin, but sadly that's not going to win you fights unless you've got the KO power to match it. Next fight, and an absolute layup for Daniel Donchenko. I know it's short notice, but it's still a layup. And if he loses, what the fuck is he wearing? That ain't UFC gear. But he's gonna knock out Theodore Bergen. I think he's Swedish. Yeah, Swedish. It's a very Swedish name. Uh, yeah, he's a good striker. Not really. He's a striker. Let's just say that Donchenko's a good striker. Destroyed Alex Morono. Didn't get the knockout, but Alex Morono magically found his chin. He was getting knocked out every single fight. Then fights Donchenko and just turns into Marvin Vettori. About a million shots. Yeah, Donchenko's okay, but there's questions of his grappling, and I don't think Theodore Berrigan, who's a striker that's fought on the Cage Warriors and some other random promotion, he's going to expose that. Could knock him out, if he gets a bit wild and thinks, this is easy. I'm going to knock Theodore Bergen out, kind of like Wellmaker versus Ethan Ewing. But I don't think he's going to do that. Donchenko's a pretty good striker, pretty calm. He does crash in often, but I think because he's the smaller guy, he's going to play it smart. He's a big favourite, so that does sometimes fuck up guys' heads. They go, what if I lose? Shit, I can't lose him. I've got to get him out of early. He could rush into the pocket and get chinned. But I think he's too good of a striker. Theodore Bergen, I haven't seen a lot of him, not going to lie. I don't really know who he is. Fights on Cage Warriors, but I'm going to go with Donchenko to knock him out. He's a big favourite, rightfully so. Donchenko is a very good striker, needs a jump up, but, the opponent pulled out. I can't remember who it was he was meant to fight. But he should be easily beating Theodore Bergen here. Next up is Khan Offley versus Javier Reyes, and a lot of people online are picking Khan Offley. He's the underdog here. I'm not picking him. I'm picking Javier Reyes. I don't rate Khan Offley. Robbed Yizar at UFC 325 last time out. Got outstruck, outgrappled. He does tend to do that. He either gets outstruck or outgrappled. He's got a submission win over Ricardo Ramos, but so does about 4 other guys on the roster like Jourdain, etc. I don't rate his game. He's not really good anywhere. Javier Reyes is a much better striker. Question marks though of his grappling. That is where Offley could win, could mix in the grappling, smudge him. But I think Reyes is going to knock him out on the feet. Khan Offley's not your I'm sweating. It's so hot in the UK. Like an Umar Magomedov type of guy that's going to hold you down for 25 straight minutes, 15 minutes. I think Javier Reyes will find the chin. He did get a bit, overly aggressive against Douglas Silva de Andrade in his debut. Got rocked, but I think he's going to have worked on that. Fuck him on about. He's going to knock out Khan Offley. At featherweight, Khan Offley fought at lightweight last time. Back down at featherweight, chin's only going to be worse. He's been outclassed everywhere. Whereas Javier Reyes, I don't think he's elite, but I think he's going to take someone better on the feet or on the ground than Khan Offley to beat him. Khan Offley's mid, whereas Reyes is better than mid in the striking. Let's just say that. Good power, faster than Offley on the feet. I think he's going to knock him out in the first or second pretty early. Khan Offley's a slow start. Mid everywhere. He's been knocked out before. Maron Santos out grappled before. Naimov, that dirty cheat. But yeah, I think Reyes is a much better striker and will knock him out here. Next fight in the middleweight division is Nursultan Ruzaboyev versus Puliev. This is what I mean about middleweights that aren't, going to win the belt or fight in the rankings. They're just solid enough. They're going to crush the cans. Like Puliev did against Nick Klein, then goes out there against CLD. Gautier, the first guy to fraud check Gautier without beating him, apparently Puliev was. But he's UFC level, kind of. He's defensively sound, all right kickbox. He's got some nasty body kicks. That's what he beat Nick Klein with, hurt Gautier with a couple of times. But I watched him live at UFC London when he fought CLD. He's boring as fuck. He just stands there on the back foot. He's going out there to not really win, or he's trying to outpoint you. He's that karate style fighter. Like, he doesn't want to get slammed out. He's a big guy, very defensively sound, low output, and I think Ruzaboyev will back him up and take him down. Ruzaboyev's got a good grappler. He's only lost in the UFC, come to Buckley. That was at 170. The guy's 6'5". He's not a 170 guy. Weight drain. That is worrying, though, because Buckley out-grappled him, and Buckley's grappling. But in all fairness, Buckley, Usman and Brady, come on now. 2 of the best grapplers in the division, but it's the way he lost. But I think Ruzaboyev's a good striker as well. Got power. See what he did to Fahea. Phil Hawes, etc. Phil Hawes, is it Phil Hawes? No, McConaughey. Knocked out McConaughey. That was before McConaughey, got passed around the middleweight division. And yeah, I think he's going to mix in the grappling here, win a decision. I think Puliev, like I said, is too defensively sound. It'll be a boring 30-27, 29-28. Puliev, I hope he loses so he gets cut. He's the most boring guy in the division. He's just going to crush cans because he's a good striker when there's no offense from his opponent. Ruzaboyev is a good striker, good grappler, well-rounded. But Puliev, he's not the best when he fights someone that can hurt. What the fuck am I on about? Puliev, he tends to, I won't say he gets scared, but he's more defensively sound against an opponent that he knows can knock him out. And I think Rizabov will back him up, take him down, and win the decision here. Next fight in the light heavyweight division, and it is an absolute layup for Abdulrahman aka Mr. Beast, against Juicy J, Julius Walker. I think that's his nickname. But Julius Walker's utter dog shit, let's be honest. He fooled us all with that performance against Alonzo Menafield, where we thought, well, shit, this guy's alright. Short notice, goes out there against Menafield. You see what Menafield's done to prospects like Umar Sy. I know that was before he beat Yang Man Yang, but Menafield was a solid guy, and Walker went out there short notice, looked okay. But ever since, he's looked dog shit. Rafael Kakera went to war with Rafael Kakera, got rocked by Rafael Kakera, took him to a decision when every other guy that he fights knocks him out. Abdulrahman knocked him out with ease, 30 seconds, head kicked him, then took the back and just choked him out. I know that doesn't mean that Walker can't beat him, but that's not a good look. Knocked out by Dustin Jacoby. Dustin Jacoby's a good guy, to be fair. He lost. It's a good comp, to be fair, but it's the way he's losing. Looked like dog shit against Jacoby on the feet. Same against Kakera. And I think Abdulrahman he's better than him every way. He's a good grappler. To beat Yukayev, you've got to be a good striker, what's his name? What's his fucking name? That Brazilian guy. Ribeiro showed us that, this guy's not actually as good on the feet. If you pressure him up back, was pinging in with the shots, hitting him with a high kick, a couple of jabs hit on Yukayev. Yukayev's sus on the feet, but his grappling is very fucking good. Took Ribeiro down, took the back instantly, locked up the choke, and I think he'll do the same to Walker. Or, Walker's a solid grappler himself. I don't know. I don't want to say Yukayev by whatever he wants, because that's kind of cringe. Yukayev's going to either knock him out or submit him. He's levels above Julius Walker, and it's going to take a top prospect, or not a top light heavyweight, like Dustin Jacoby to beat a Yukayev, because he's a good grappler. Striking's a bit sus, but he's going to get past guys like Julius Walker, right? He's a big favourite, rightfully so, and I think he easily beats Julius Walker here. Next up, and headlining the prelims, I don't know why it's headlining the prelims, just another Azerbaijani that isn't all that. However, I do think he beats Eric Nolan. Eric Nolan's okay on the feet, but on the ground he's a bit dodgy. If you pressure Eric Nolan, he's sus. But going forwards, Eric Nolan's good. You see what he did to Sakaev, stunned him bad at the end of round one. Everyone thought he was lambs with a slaughter to Sakaev. Looked okay there, but I don't think he's all that. Hassanov, I looked at his resume. I was originally going to pick Nolan. I was like, Nolan's going to knock him out. Hassanov doesn't mix in the grappling. But then you watch his fights. Hassanov is wild. That could go against him, but it puts an incredible pace on guys, takes him down. Doesn't really hold him down. He's got no submissions, but the pressure he's going to put on Nolan, he's either going to win a decision here or knock him out. He's going to back Nolan up, charge at him like a ball. Fucking hell. And he's going to beat Eric Nolan. Eric Nolan's okay going forward. He's got a crafty 1-2, but that's about it, really. Eric Nolan isn't all that. I mean, saw his tweet. He said he's got no coaches with him, like a dodgy background, dodgy training camp. He's a good boxer. He's kind of been done dirty twice. Dana White was glazing him after his Sissakaev fight, and they go, "Who you go, kid? Go to fucking Baku, kid. Fight some prospect, kid." But tough to see. I think he's going to lose again to Hassanov. Hassanov, pressure fighter, very good going forwards. If Nolan can back him up, then we don't know. He's not fought the best comp. He's undefeated. Yeah, he's 5-0. Coming off of a round one TKO at LFA. He's fine at LFA. That's a good comp. A doctor stoppage win. He's scrappy, but he could gas out. If Nolan survives a round and a half, he could have a late onslaught. But I think Hassanov will finish him early. On now to the main card where we have Abus Magomedov versus Mikhailo Gzaychuk. Another solid middleweight bout between two alright guys. Magomedov was in the rankings. On Gzaychuk, never quite really got there in the middleweight. Had some success at light heavyweight, but in this fight, I'm going with Abus Magomedov. I know Mikhail's on a good streak, 3 fights in a row, but look who they're against. GM3, Cedricus Dumas, and Marc-Andre Barriault. And Marc-Andre Barriault. He had a good scrap with Barriault. That isn't really a good look. If you're a top contender, you're easily dispatching of Barriault. I know he did the same to GM3 and fucking Dumas, but I think he's pretty limited. He's a good boxer, but that's it. Abus Magomedov mixes in the kicks. He's got that head kick KO against Stoltzfus. I know that was a bit of a fluke and he's not done it since. Mixes in the grappling, stays at range. He's the bigger guy here. He's got the reach, but he's not the smartest boxer. He's not going to stay at range and pop the jab. But Oleg Zaychuk, he's crafty in the pocket, but I think Abus is going to take him down here. Win a decision. Oleg Zaychuk is a tough guy, hard guy to finish. He could get the sub I mean, let's not forget, Abus Magomedov's lost to Bahalio, Strickland, and Pfeiffer, and in all three of those fights, well, apart from the Bahalio fight, he was winning. You know, round one against Strickland, one. Did he beat? Who the fuck did he? He won round one against Pfeiffer. Then Pfeiffer took him down and submitted him. But Joe Pfeiffer and Strickland and Bahalio are the top five in the division. That's the type of guy that I'm seeing to beat Abus. You know, he beat Fahey, we'll get to in a minute. Submitted him. I think this is going to go the exact same. It'll be a not craft. What's he going to say crafty for? It'll be a competitive bout on the feet. Oleksiejczuk could sting him in the pocket. Then Abus will shoot. I know he's been training at the Fighting Nerds, but come on now. I can just see Oleksiejczuk as just kind of the bitch boy at that gym that Bahalio just drills with and just mauls, and Prates just pieces up in the gym. I'm going with Abus Magomedov to win the decision here, mixing in the grappling. If he stays on the feet, Oleksiejczuk could pick him off, but Oleksiejczuk, you know, Barriou had a good come on heavy late, round 3, but I'm going with Abus to win the decision here. Next up, another middleweight fight, Ikram Aliskerov versus Bruno Ferreira. Another example of middleweights, but Aliskerov has some potential. I'm going with Ikram Aliskerov to beat Bruno Ferreira, 17-2. We all know who those two are. Whitaker and Chimaev, where he got knocked out brutally with an uppercut. But I don't think Bruno Ferreira's got it in him to knock out Aliskerov. He very well could if he stays on the feet. But Ikram Aliskerov, the second Bruno Ferreira backs him up and damages him, he's going to shoot for the legs. It's what he does. He's not got the best resume, but a dominant win over Jung Sung Park. He's impressive. The Iron Turtle. He's always a tough out. You know, unless you're a cheat like Ismail Nurdiev, you have to cheat to beat him and still lose. But he's not got the best wins, but he's looking better. Obviously, fraud checked massively. Not fraud checked, but like real people, real humans bet on Aliskerov to beat Robert Whitaker after beating who did he beat? After beating Wally Alves and Phil Hawes. Anyway, he's all right on the feet. You know, he's not the typical daggy that only grapples. He's okay on the feet, but I would advise him to mix in the grappling here. Bruno Ferreira is a good striker. It takes a RoboCop, someone like that, to put him out, or Zaboyev. I think, like similar to this fight here, it'll be competitive on the feet, but Aliskerov has the upper hand. He can mix in the grappling. I know Ferreira's got some submission wins, but that's against Jackson McVeigh and type of guys like that. And Ikram Aliskerov is levels above Jackson McVeigh. Aliskerov will win here by decision, maybe even submission. He'll mix in the grappling. He's a dominant grappler. That's just what they are. The Dagestanis. I don't even know if he's from Dagestan. I think he's from Russia. He looks like a Dagestani. But I'm going with him here to win a decision. Next fight, and the only other fight on the card with rankings on the line, or who the fuck knows nowadays with the rankings, but Isasu Amabayev versus Charles Johnson. And I hate Charles Johnson. I'm picking Isasu Amabayev. That's not why I'm picking him. If I like Johnson, this is not a good matchup for Charles Johnson. We've seen him get out of grapple multiple times. Rafael Estevam, Cody Durden, Mohamed Makayev. We've seen him get knocked out. Alex Perez, you know, Charles Johnson, man, he's just so good because he knocked out Joshua Van and Lona Kavanagh when he was getting beaten up before, and he's just so good. He needs to fight for the belt, man. He's going to get submitted by Asuma Bayev here. There's no easier fan base to troll than Charles Johnson fans online. You have to put one comment about Alex Perez or somewhere he loses, and you know they'll just glaze because he knocked out Joshua Van. You know, he can lose. He could be 19-19, but don't forget he knocked out Joshua Van, so he deserves a title fight. Anyway, Amabayev, much better grappler. I am a bit worried though. 5'4" against 5'9". But I think the second he gets a hold of Charles Johnson's legs, he's going to take him down. Oh, he doesn't even have to. You see the submission win over Alex Perez. Jumped on the back. That was nasty. Wrapped up the guillotine. He's got tight guillotine. And to be fair, what has impressed me is he did beat Jose Ochoa pretty easily. And Jose Ochoa is very good. Prospect, only lost to Kavanagh. Lona Kavanagh, you know, the guy that Charles Johnson beat. I didn't even know that. No one mentions that he beat Kavanagh. But that was impressive. It's going to be similar to this. Charles Johnson, he's only getting worse, but somehow he's only being glazed more and more. You know, I thought he lost to Bruno Silva. Alex Perez knocked him out, made him do the stanky leg. And Alceu Amabayev, he's going to submit him. I could be wrong. He could knock him out. Even if he knocks him out, you just know if he does, which he's not gonna. He's gonna call out Joshua Van, Bruno. He wants to fight the main event in China or Japan against Tyra or Cap. No, not Cap. Horiguchi. Come on now. I'm going with Asama Bayev to take him down. It'll be problems early. Johnson's put pace on him, but Johnson's suspect to low kicks. Amabayev could chop the leg, back him up, take him down, get a submission win here, and hopefully sharp Charles Johnson. Next fight and the feature fight, Sadikov versus Camilo. Why is this the feature fight? You know, at least when there's bias to countries, the fighters are semi-relevant and semi-worth it. Why Sadikov on the main card? Like, why are we in fucking Baku? They've not got any good fighters. They couldn't even headline it last time. But Sadikov versus Camilo is a layout for Sadikov. Camilo is not good. I don't know an awful lot about him. I know he lost to Gabe Green by submission, which isn't awful. Gabe Green's a crafty vet. Uh, beat Vyacheslav Borchev, which isn't that impressive nowadays. Is everyone's beating Vyacheslav Borchev. He's not even in the UFC anymore. But his striking is not on par with Sadikov. But Sadikov, everyone glazes that Nicholas Motta fight. We have to remember Nicholas Motta rocked him bad, nearly finished him, showed good heart and durability to survive. But if you do that against a good fighter, you're going to lose again. Ziam showed that Sadikov can't grapple. Literally manhandled him, picked him up, threw him around. But Tom Nolan showed levels to Ziam, so that makes that loss even worse. Everyone was saying Ziam's a future champ. So was I. I mean, even made a video about it. But I think he's going to knock out Camilo. He's too fast on the feet, similar height. It's a layup for Sadikov. There's not much else to say. He's going to beat Camilo. Camilo's not good. Like, lamb to the slaughter, even though Sadikov isn't that good. They need to get some Baku wins on the card, as there's a risk that the main event might lose, and these prospects aren't that good. So they've guaranteed themselves a win here with Sadikov versus Camilo. Although Camilo could take him down, Camilo took Borchev down, but I think Sadikov would have improved the rest. And I know he trains with Aljamain Sterling, Ray Longo, and all those guys, so he would have made improvements. Took a lot of time off. UFC 322, 320 it was, I can't remember. Decent time off. Uh, he's a good striker, and he will beat Mateus Camilo. On now to the feature fight, and talking of overrated, Shara Magomedov versus Mikael Pereira, another dog shit middleweight main event fight. Arguably, these two are better fights. Any of these fights should be on air, but they're still trying to push Shara Magomedov because he's a real future champ here. Taking on Mikael Pereira, another bum that isn't good. But I think Shara is going to piece him up at range. Mikael Pereira is like rolling a lottery ticket for him to get a flying knee. He's technically dog shit. You see the sparring videos of Strickland. Like, what are we doing there? It's just retard maxing. They're just fucking throwing hands at each other. No technique. I don't rate Shara Magomedov. I mean, he is defensively sus. He could get that flying knee, but I wouldn't pick it. He's a favourite for a reason. He's okay. Defensively sus, but offensively, so is Mikael Pereira. Lost to Carl Dorcas, Fluffy, guys like that. His cardio's improved. He robbed Zachary Reese. There's powers behind him that Shara doesn't like either, so that'd be interesting. But I'm still picking Shara Magomedov to win the decision. He's the cleaner striker, higher output, whereas Mikael Pereira just charges into the pocket. His chin's worse, so he can't really do that anymore. Magomedov could even drop him. No, I don't rate either of these guys. I don't know what they're doing with Shara. He still can't fight out of, in the US or any other European country than Russia and all that. But I think he's good enough to beat Pereira. Spinning back Fiziev, we've never seen that before. He could do it again. But I don't think he's that good. MVP shut down any hype he had. And then Barrio rocked him. Oleg Zaychuk's rocked him. He's only really looked good against Tricoli and Petrosian, and that is not good. But I think he's going to use the low kicks against Pereira. Nah, win a boring decision. I don't fucking know. I'm going with Magomedov to beat Pereira by decision. On to the main event. Rafael Fiziev versus Manuel Torres. I'm 50-50 here. This is similar to Rufi versus Fiziev. Big striker against Fiziev. Fiziev, little guy, should be a 45 really. He's not big enough for 155. I'm going with Rafael Fiziev. One last chance, one last hope. Torres isn't as good as Rufi. This is a step down in comp, and we've seen that before when he fought Bahamondes. Torres he's gonna go out there, charge at Fiziev. Fiziev's defensively sound, on the back foot. Going forward, when he's Andre Lima maxing, he's a bit sus. Just leaves his chin in the air. But so does Torres. Torres throws wild shots. Fiziev's gonna counter him to the body. I could even see him getting a body kick TKO here. He's gonna start slow. Maybe mixing the grappling. He did that to Bahamondes. Didn't do it against Rufi. Probably should have done. Took a lot of time off. No, actually, really, no, it's the start of the year. Yeah, not really, but Torres hasn't fought in a while either. We don't know about the grappling of Torres. I know he's got some submission wins, but Fiziev can hold him down. Fiziev's a very well-rounded, the better, cleaner striker, but Torres packs a punch, and I'm worried early. This is either going late TKO Fiziev, decision Fiziev, or a round 1 slime out. I'm leaning towards the Fiziev side. Went 3 hard rounds with Gaethje twice. Didn't get knocked out. RDA, he's fought better comp. I'm going with Fiziev to out-volume Torres. Body kicks, low kicks. Torres just throws wild stuff. He's like Michael Morales. Wild shots. Bahamondes proved it. Was it Yeah, Bahamondes proved it. He's not all that, Torres. He's powerful early, but we haven't seen him go late into a fight. And when we did, he got knocked out. He's a kill or be killed. I think he will be killed here. No one puts Fiziev out in the first like that. Rufi did it in the second, and it was Fiziev's fault. Going with Fiziev to fraud check Manuel Torres. I don't rate Manuel Torres. If he's going to win in the first round, and it still won't prove me much because he's going to fight a better comp and they're going to beat him if he even does get him out of there early. But no, I'm not trying to shit on Torres. I just think guys like that don't usually have success in the lower weight classes unless lightweight. You know, when you get to welterweight, it's a bit different. The lightweights are big now. You can't weight bully, size bully. And I think Fiziev will piece him up, much cleaner striker, and win a decision here. So yeah, they are my picks. Fiziev, Shara, Sadikov, Almabayev, Alaskarov, Abus, Hazanov, Abdulrahman, Ruzaboyev, Javier Reyes, Donchenko, Almakan, Abdullayev. What do you guys think? This card should be good. It's on European time. Let me know what you guys think. Drop a like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and goodbye.